Hey there guys, welcome back. My name's sadaplays. I hope you're all well. In today's video, Gladiator Computers contacted me and they said, hey Sada, we are building a new system called the mother of all machines. It's built on the new X299 architecture, which is like a gateway motherboard and system for the new i9 processors that Intel are bringing out and all the new lovely tech. So I was like, yes, please. That sounds awesome. So I thought you guys would be interested to see the performance, to see how it performs in games. And I was really interested to check it out. So the Gladiator M.O.A.M line of systems, the mother of all machines, starts with the mother of all affordable machines. It's a great spec gaming computer that holds the door open for the budding enthusiasts to grow and expand their system in the future. Now it always helps when the computer is good looking, and this one doesn't disappoint. It uses the Corsair Carbide ATX tower, which is a really sleek, nice tower. We've got the RGB fans and the LED strip lighting, and also the motherboard and graphics card is synced with the Gigabyte Fusion. So you can have yourself a little disco at home before you even know what the computer performs like. Talking of performance, let's check out the specs of this new X299 architecture and what it really offers. The motherboard is a Gigabyte X299 Aorus Gaming 3, and that uses the 2066 CPU socket. The 2066 socket supports Intel's new generation of CPUs, the Core X series, Skylake X and Kaby Lake X. In this system it's running the i5-7640X processor running at 4 GHz. This X299 chipset has a lot of options for different slots like your memory slots, SATA, M.2, PCI Express. It has 8 slots for memory up to 128 gigs worth, running at 4000 MHz. It has 8 SATA ports. It has 2 M.2 SSD slots, which runs at an incredible 32 gig per second. And it also has 5 PCI slots. The X299 motherboard really does future-proof your computer. If in the future you ever want to upgrade, it's all there waiting for you. The graphics card in this system is a Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1070, which I think is one of your best bang for the buck graphics cards out there at the moment. I was really impressed with the cable management from Gladiator Computers. Everything is just tucked away, all neat and tidy. There's also a Seagate Barracuda 2TB hard drive that's hidden under the bay at the bottom. The memory in this system is 16 GB of Corsair Vengeance LPX. That's 2x8 GB sticks, and it's DDR4 3000. The cooling in this system uses a Corsair H100i 77.0 CFM liquid CPU cooler, which runs incredibly quiet and keeps your system lovely and cool. So that's the specs out the way, but as a gamer, all I really care about is how good FPS I get in games, how smooth it is, what the graphics are like, and can I murder people's faces off better than they can murder my face off. So I tested the system on some various games to test this out, and I started off with Overwatch, and I was playing one of my favourite characters, Reaper, because he's a badass.
What are you looking at?
I was playing Overwatch in 1920 by 1080 with all settings on Ultra, and you can check out the FPS in the top left corner of the screen. I was really impressed with the FPS that I was getting from this machine. I was averaging like 160 to 200 FPS, and it felt smooth and lovely. Now don't judge me on this, but I've been really trying to get like a 4 or 5 player kill with his ult for this video. The most I could manage was 3. So don't judge me on that, but my god, I put some hours in trying to get a good ult. I've been really enjoying playing Reaper lately. I just love it how you can get in close, be super aggressive with them shotguns, And them shotguns do so much damage close range. You can pretty much kill a tank in like 4 or 5 shots. I've just been absolutely loving playing Reaper at the moment. For those of you that have never played Overwatch or you don't really think it's your thing, I was exactly the same at the beginning. I was like, oh, I don't really understand what's going on and all this looks a bit strange. But now it's one of my favourite games ever to play. In fact, it's the only game I play when I'm not streaming or recording. It's what I play for fun. Never any desync issues, there's never any cheaters. It's just a game that works 100% of the time. I absolutely love it, and if you haven't tried it, I really would suggest giving it a go. For those of you that have never played Overwatch, that blue circle in the middle with the Q in, that's my ultimate ability, and I'm about to do an ultimate and try and do a really good one for you guys. Unfortunately, I didn't kill hardly anyone, and then I got squashed. At least I was getting good FPS in the game. So the next game that I tried out was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now this is a great game to test this system on. If you keep an eye on the top left hand corner of the screen, you can see the in-game FPS. I was playing in 1920 by 1080 and pretty much everything on Ultra. I think I had anisotropic filtering turned down and some of the foliage turned down too. But it'll give you a really good idea how this performs. When I was recording this for you guys, I actually joined like a team game, but I went in solo because I thought I'd get more action. And then I landed at the airfield where usually loads and loads of teams are. But when I landed, I didn't really think there was anyone around me. And then I heard the telltale footsteps. There was a squad close to me. After managing to get that guy, I was expecting another 3 guys to be around me, and I could hear one of them running around. I just waited to see if one of his teammates would come and revive him, but they didn't. They just let him die to the circle, so it's time for me to get in a car and to get into that center of the circle and win this game. Or, should I say, get into a car, crash down a mountain, go through a fence and then crash it into some water. But it's okay, because there's a motorbike. I'll take that. What could possibly go wrong with me and a motorbike? They added a new mechanic in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that on this actual type of bike in the game, you can do some really cool tricks. So obviously, I was going to show you one of the best tricks that's possible to do in the game. I just had to find the perfect hill, have the perfect speed, and then I could show you one of the sickest tricks there is in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Ah, this hill, this is it, this is perfect. I think you'll agree that was a crazy good trick. I call that one Sada's Flying Dying Albatross of Doom. So after doing some crazy sick jumps in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and getting over 100 FPS most of the time, which I was really impressed with, I decided to put this system through some benchmarks. The first test I did of the system was on a benchmark called Valley, and this just looks absolutely beautiful. I was well enjoying just watching this all the time. It reminds me a little bit of Far Cry or DayZ Standalone. It's just such a beautiful environment. This test I was doing on the system was done in 1920 by 1080. The settings were on high and the minimum FPS was 46.2 and the maximum was 243.9. Very, very respectable. The next benchmarking program I tried out was FutureMark's Firestrike. And this is beautiful. They need to make a game of this. It's pretty much fire is trying to assassinate ice. Just check this out. While I was watching this benchmark, I started to think to myself, if there was a never-ending supply of ice or a never-ending supply of fire, what actually would win? It would be the ice, right? It would put out the fire? Or would the fire like melt all the ice and then evaporate the water? I don't know. But I did think about that for quite a long time. After contemplating the mysteries of fire and ice for a little while, the benchmark finished and I got the score and it had done better than 83% of all other computers tested. Really impressed with that. So after putting the system through its paces with games and benchmarking, I started to look into the X299 architecture and if it's actually viable to buy at the moment. And once I looked into it all, I started to realise that this PC that Gladiator had sent me right now was a really good PC to play any games, but also it was future proof. If in the future when Intel bring out the i9 series and the i7 series, they're bringing out a whole host of new processors that will only fit into the X299 architecture. So really this system is like an entry level into the future of gaming for Intel. The core is there, the specs are really good for what it is at the moment, but it can be upgraded for the future. If you're thinking of getting into PC gaming and you want something that you haven't got to worry about, will it be okay in a few years time, this is the PC for you. It's completely future proof. The core architecture is there to upgrade to Intel's new line of processors, and I think it's a really good value computer at the moment. I had a look on PC Part Picker for all the parts that was in this computer and the price come out at £1,557.57p. If you actually look on the Gladiator computer website, they will actually build this system for you. You get 4 years standard warranty, 2-month collection and returns, 1 year's parts and 4 years labour. And the price is cheaper than the parts together. It's £1,549. Also, Gladiator shipped not just in England and Ireland, but they also ship to Europe as well. So, if you're thinking of getting a computer that's good for the future, I don't think you could probably do better than this one at the moment. It's the M.O.A.M, the mother of all computers. The link will be in the description to the Gladiator site where you can buy this computer. And yeah, I hope this video helped you if you're thinking of getting into gaming or you didn't really know what the X29 architecture is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next time.